This is my new 260, bought through the perils of Evil Bay, which has arrived about a week ago, and is going to get the Beltrol RCS treatment with the new Professional Series electronic speed control. So I'm going to pull it apart, show you how I pull it apart, and insert in the Beltrol system, putting in batteries in the tender and so on. So we'll see how we go. The first thing I'm doing is making up a cradle, which is just the box or the Coolite lid that the Loco came in, with some towel over the top of it just to add some protection. I've tried this before and it works okay, but just be careful because sometimes the towel catches on some of the details, so you just got to be a bit careful when you're moving the Loco around and so on. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is look at the exploded parts view here for the Loco and see what we need to do. As you can see, it's a bit useless. While it shows the exploded parts components, what it doesn't show is where all the screws are. So the first thing I'm going to do is actually inspect the Loco a little bit more carefully, and I know there's a couple of screws here under the firebox, or at the top of the firebox, as you can see. So we'll get rid of those first, and then we'll move down to the front and see how that all comes apart. So we'll see how we go in pulling it to bits. The thing that I'm trying to do here is actually remove any power pickups. So we don't want the Loco to be drawing any power from the track whatsoever, so we want to isolate the motor from any pickups that there are. So that'll be the first thing we do here. One of the first things that I've noticed here is that I have to remove this little tank just about here, and there's a little screw that you can just see it down in there, that I'm going to have to undo to remove this air tank in order to gain access to this other screw here. So we'll just keep going with that. So I'm just undoing this screw here now, as you can see, and then we'll lift out this detail part. And I'm putting everything into an ice cream bucket here, so I know where all the screws are. So now I can finally get access to this other screw up here, this one here, and we'll undo that one, and then hopefully if we do the same on the other side we can get rid of, I'm using a pair of tweezers. I've been finding that a pair of tweezers works well to basically put everything back and keep hold of everything, as you can see. So now we're going to pull off the pony truck here. Now that we've removed the pony truck, you can see there's two screws there on either side of the cylinder, so we're going to have a go at pulling those apart and see how we go further. So now I've removed that cover here, you can see that this is the screw that we need to get to. I suspected that there'd be one up here at the front holding down the smoke box. Usually most Locos have got a screw here at the front, and down the back end there'll be either something on the rear here, or as we saw on this one, on the side of the firebox. So we'll just keep going and see what else has to come apart. When I tried pulling the Loco apart from this end here, it's still fairly well fixed on, so it feels like there's another screw or two that has to come out from there. Okay, so now that the screw on the bottom is undone, I've turned the Loco over. The two other things that have to come out are the lubrication line that goes down into the steam chest here, and you just lift that up and pull that out, and then also the front boiler stay here will have to come off as well. So we just gently lever that out and you can see it'll come out, and I've done the same on the other side. And now the front end of the boiler will lift up relatively easily, you can see that, but there's still obviously something fixing down the other end, so we'll come down here and see what else we can find. Okay, now this is really tricky. There is a screw that is right down in here behind the locomotive driver. You can't really even see it, and you can just see it reflecting there, that one just in there. You can just see it there, so you have to remove that, and I think that that's about it, and that should lift the boiler off. So let's see how we go. Just one other thing that I forgot to show you is that you will have to disconnect this reach rod here that goes up to the cab. There's just a small little screw there, because without that you can't actually remove the boiler from the chassis. Okay, so now we've actually got the boiler separated from the chassis, but you can see there's still a couple of sets of wires and stuff, so we'll have to disconnect this little power lead here, if I can. Yeah, that one. And there's another one. Well, that's actually disconnected, that one. So now we can remove that, and we'll have to disconnect that other ribbon cable there that goes up.